So with that brief introduction, I'm going to get started and talk a little bit about your association. AIM has been around for a long time. In fact, we're within sight of our centennial. The association was founded in 1915. It is now the largest employer association in Massachusetts. More than 4,500 employers have joined you as part of this common enterprise. AIM members are a very diverse group. They come from every sector of the Massachusetts economy, ranging from manufacturing companies to financial services companies, retail, hospitality, higher education, etc. You're also a very diverse group in terms of your size. Some people think of AIM only in terms of representing very large companies, but in fact, the average AIM member has between 40 and 50 employees, and we also have many companies that have 10 or fewer employees, ranging down to sole proprietors who are working off their kitchen tables. Everyone, all sorts of companies, find something of value within AIM. We have offices throughout Massachusetts. It's always been the philosophy of this organization to be as close as we possibly can geographically to our members. So our offices, as you can see, range from Boston, Burlington, and Bridgewater, then out into Central Mass and Marlborough, and then into Holyoke. We also maintain an office in Washington, D.C. So this is really what we stand for. AIM really stands for the prospect of helping employers, all of you, do what you do best, which is to grow, to create opportunity and prosperity for the people of Massachusetts. When I mentioned that you are a diverse group, you really are, in fact, a very varied group, if you will. The largest portions of our membership come in the manufacturing and service sectors. That pretty much reflects the overall Massachusetts economy. And we also have significant representation in the retail, construction, wholesale, and transportation areas. Now, I mentioned that our companies are of varying sizes, but this slide, with the permission of all of these companies, indicates companies whom you would recognize. They're trademark name companies. But again, I think the more important part of this slide is how diverse these companies are, from high-tech engineering companies like Raytheon, the biotechnology companies like Biogen, to restaurant chains like Friendly's and internet companies like TripAdvisor and Nuance. Again, a very diverse group of companies, all bringing their particular points of view to the enterprise that we call AIM. So what does this association do? The very simplified gloss on it is that we do 4 primary sets of activities on behalf of you, our members. The first is government and public affairs. We're a lobbying group, and we don't shy away from that term one bit. It seems that everyone nowadays has someone looking after their interests in the halls of government. We think it's particularly appropriate for all of you as the creators of wealth in the society and the creators of opportunity to have somebody looking after your interests as well, and that's what AIM does. The second activity that we're engaged in is management and human resources, education, and consulting services. We're very proud to say that some of the most forward-looking companies in Massachusetts look to AIM for HR, employee training, and management consulting services. Kyle is going to talk a lot about that in just a moment. The third piece of what we do is insurance. Many of you, I know, are clients of AIM Mutual Insurance Company. AIM Mutual is a workers' compensation insurance company. It's in fact one of the largest writers of workers' comp in the state, and AIM sponsors that company on behalf of Massachusetts employers. And the final piece of what we do is business development. We, in fact, encourage Massachusetts employers to do business with one another, encourage supply chain development here within the Commonwealth, and that's been a very successful effort so far. So with that in mind, I have the pleasure of turning it over to Kyle, who's going to start talking about some of the services that you get as part of your AIM membership. Kyle.
Great. Good morning again. The number that's printed on the slide here is a number that I suggest everybody copy down or keep on your, your speed dial on your phone. The number for the employer hotline is 800-470-6277, and that is the main number at AIM. You call that and ask for the employer hotline. It's fully staffed between 8:30 and 5 every day, Monday through Friday, and it's staffed by an HR professional with over 20 years of experience. So we have people who call once a year, and we have other people who call, a couple of times a week. And the questions that come in really run the full gamut. Some people will call and say they're putting together a social media policy, for example, and do we have any tips or suggestions of what they should include? Some people will call and say an employee has not shown up for work for a couple of days. How should they proceed? Or an employee has been out on FMLA and they want to make sure they have the right paperwork that they're putting together. So whether you're an HR department of 1 or 10, there might be a question that you come across, and you can give the employer hotline a call, for a second opinion and for just to verify what you may already know. So again, it's open every day, and if the call comes in before 3 o'clock, we will make sure that we call you back before the end of that day. Another free resource for our members is the Online Resource Center. And the Online Resource Center can be accessed through the AIM website, the www.aimnet.org. And the Online Resource Center we're clicking on it now, it's on the right-hand side of the page. And this is a members-only area of the website. And it contains over 400 documents, and you can find these different documents by looking at resource type. We have checklists, fact sheets, articles, reference guides, sample policies. There's a lot of different categories that you can look up under resource type. Where you may want to look under a certain area of HR, so benefits or compensation, and maybe you want to see, what types of documents are available for you in one of those categories. But really the way that I think most of our members use the Online Resource Center is by clicking in the keywords area and typing in a keyword. And for example, you can type in FMLA, which we've just shown you on the screen. And again, this is a members-only area of the website, so if you have not logged in yet at that point, it would ask you to use your login information. But what you'll see come up are all of the items that fall into this category. So you'll see articles, sample notifications, fact sheets, sample forms and posters, and so you can click through and see what's under there, and then you can download it to your own desktop to use as you need. Some of these documents are left in Word version for you, and that way you can edit those documents. But really using keywords is probably the best way for you to find documents on the Online Resource Center. Other free resources to our members include our surveys. So during the year, we conduct a few different surveys. Actually, right now, we are conducting the HR Practices Survey, which is listed on the bottom of your screen there. And the HR Practices Survey is really an overview survey, finding out what the trends are in benefits and compensation and recruitment practices and training. And it's a survey that will take you probably about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. It's all done online, and it's open to employers of all sizes. And by participating in this survey, you'll get a free copy of the results when they're published, which is usually around the end of November, beginning of December. And it's a great way to help you plan for 2015. You'll be able to see, what types of health plans are companies offering, what are companies saying that they are planning for their merit increase for the following year. So again, that survey is going on right now, and at the end of this webinar, you'll see my email address, and if you have not received a survey link, certainly let me know and I can send the link over to you. But other surveys that we conduct also are the General Wage Survey and the Executive Compensation Survey. Those are conducted at the beginning of the calendar year, so in January and February. And those are much more detailed surveys. You must have at least 20 employees to participate in those surveys, and they'll give you once you'll complete information on what your pay practices are, what you're planning for merit increases, bonus plans, overtime, really anything compensation related, in addition to detailed information on over 200 benchmark positions. So a company must have 20 employees to participate again, and members who participate in the survey will receive a free copy, download copy of the results when they're published in June. And members tell us that this is just a great resource that they use whenever they're hiring or planning their merit program. That's a much more extensive survey. And then on a biennial basis, we conduct a benefit survey. That we just conducted this past year. The next time we will conduct the survey will be in the fall of 2015 for publication in early 2016. But that survey gathers information on the full range of benefits programs that companies are offering. And again, will help you as you plan ahead for whether you're going to make changes to the types of health insurance you're offering or what type of match you're providing for your 401k, or maybe what your leave of absence program might look like. We do have a sample here of what a page from the general wage survey looks like. And again, we have data like this on over 200 benchmark positions. On your screen right now, you'll see it's from an accounting manager. But we break down the compensation data by the region of the state, by industry, and by company size. And then within each of those categories, you'll see that we provide the average, the weighted average, broken down by quartiles, and then also variable compensation. So if you're a manufacturing company located in Western Mass, you might want to take a couple of pieces of data on this position, and that would help you determine what your starting salary might need to be for an employee that you're hiring for an accounting manager position, for example. Another free resource for our members are our reference guides. We currently provide all of the reference guides that are listed on your screen are available to our members. There's 16 reference guides. These reference guides, as you can see, are on a variety of topics, from Massachusetts employment laws to specialized reference guides on COBRA or disability laws, sexual harassment, for example. And we do update these on an as-needed basis. The Massachusetts employment laws reference guide is updated every year. And what we do with the reference guides when we update them is that we provide any changes in a different color font. So that way you don't need to read line by line through the reference guide to see what may have changed, but we try to make that pretty obvious for you so that you can, at a quick glance, see what you might need to change in your workplace. But all of these reference guides, again, are available for members, free. They're on the Online Resource Center. So once you have your login information, you can just go in and into that keyword area. You could type in reference guides and then download any of the reference guides that you would like to take a look at. On a regular basis, we offer some ad hoc meetings and webinars for our members. Very often these are free, so they can have a wide range of topics, and it's really based on the developing issues and what we think is most important to our members at that time, to make sure you're able to stay up to date on state and federal legislation and anything that really could impact your business. So for example, we offer webinars on a monthly basis. They're called just-in-time webinars, and they might be on topics such as FMLA updates or changes to the Americans with Disabilities Act or how to write compliant job descriptions. And then we'll also run some informational programs throughout the state where we'll travel around, and if there are changes to federal health care reform, for example, or employment law or I-9, labor relations, we will travel around the state and make sure that our members have the opportunity to meet us in person and really get an update on what's going on, again, that might impact their businesses.
So I'm going to give Kyle a chance to catch your breath here a little bit. Obviously, we have a significant amount of information here at AIM that we try and communicate to you in the most efficient manner that we possibly can. we do that in a number of ways, and most of them, as most organizations now, most of our communication is now electronic. The single most important platform that we use to communicate with members is the AIM blog, and I'm going to go popping out there now. So this is our live blog. It's called the AIM Business Insider blog, and you'll find it at blog.aimnet.org. And as a new member of AIM, you should be automatically subscribed to the blog. If you're not, and you would like to be subscribed, just go to blog.aimnet.org, go over here, pop your email in, and hit subscribe. We do not use your email. We don't sell your email for anything other than the purpose for which it's outlined here, which is every time that we post news to the blog, you get a very innocuous-looking email. You look at it. If it's a subject that you're interested in, you can click through and read it. If it's not, you just delete it and off you go. But the blog is really where we post information as soon as we get it. So this is kind of real-time information delivery on topics that we think are important to Massachusetts employers. So most recently, this was a post last week. I know if you're a manufacturer, you're really concerned about skills gaps, skill shortages, finding the people you need to run your business. This is an article about a group of companies that got together in the central part of the state, and they're working with vocational schools to make sure that the vocational schools are in fact teaching the skills that manufacturers in Massachusetts need nowadays. There are other articles here. You can see bureaucratic self-preservation at Tura. This is another manufacturing-related article about the Toxics Use Reduction Act and some of the bureaucratic silliness that's going on there. We think that was important to note. And this article is about our annual legislative scorecard that we do to evaluate the work of the Massachusetts legislature and their responsiveness to business and economic issues. So again, if you're not already subscribed to the blog, by all means go and subscribe, because again, time is money, time is important in a lot of these issues. And so again, as soon as we know it and we're able to understand it and convey it, this is in fact where we do it. We also have a number of other ways of communicating. The AIM website, which we were back at a moment ago when Kyle was taking you to the Online Resource Center. We communicate a lot using this format, that is the webinar format. Every Monday, we send out our e-newsletter called Business Weekly. Oddly enough, we're very creative with our names here at AIM. But Business Weekly summarizes all of the important issues that we're working on at AIM at any one time. So you should have received Business Weekly probably about a half an hour to an hour ago. So take a look at it. It's a very quick gloss on what we're doing. And again, pick out the articles that you're interested in, click through, and learn about what we're doing. Every Wednesday, we send out another e-newsletter called the HR Edge. And oddly enough, this deals with human resources, employment law developments, best practices, et cetera. It's a great article for some of the practical matters that you're going to run into every day in running your business. So take advantage of all of these communication areas. We're also very active on social media, so if you're a Facebook person, definitely follow us there. We do a lot on Twitter, have a pretty big LinkedIn presence as well as YouTube. So again, if that's where you like getting your information, that's fine. We offer the full range of communication options because we know that people have different ways that they like staying current with things. Pick the one that suits you best. So now I'm going to go back to Kyle, and she's going to talk a little bit about some of the education and training opportunities here at AIM. Kyle?
Great, thank you, Chris. So the items or the programs that I mentioned previously, the hotline, the reference guides, the surveys, some of those are available free for our members, and we have other services that we charge a fee for. And it really depends on how the program is set up. But on your screen you'll see a list of some of the education and training programs that we offer. And you'll see that there's a great variety in terms of topic, everything from specialized healthcare cost control programs to more general human resource programs and supervisory management programs. And what we try to do with any of these educational classes is really to be able to provide options that will fit the needs of our members. So you might want to send one employee in your company to a training program, and we do offer these throughout the year. We'll offer several different sessions at locations throughout the state. So most likely there would be a program being offered somewhere near your company. On the other hand, if you had maybe 5 employees, for example, that you wanted to send to a supervisory management class, maybe you'd rather do that on-site at your company. And so we would send an AIMS trainer to your company, and they could fine-tune that class to really meet the needs of your organization. So we try to be flexible and work with you on what might fit your needs. The HR Level 1 and Level 2 classes and the Supervisory Level 1 and Level 2 classes are comprised of 10 modules, if you will. So again, you may want to send an employee to only 1 or 2 of those modules, or it might be an employee who's new to HR, for example, and you want to have them go through the entire certificate series. So you do have that option to kind of pick and choose what would work best for you. In addition to offering these training programs, we do offer assistance with workforce training grants. These training grants have been around for years, but many companies still really might not be sure of how they work or whether they're eligible for them, or how they would set up a training program and complete the application. And we're very fortunate to have Bill Baldino on our staff, and he has worked with workforce training grants for many years, and really helps companies find a way to be able to apply for that money, and then once they've been granted the money, how to spend it on the training programs. So if that's something that you've maybe heard about and just aren't sure how to proceed, again, give us a call. We'll put you in touch with Bill Baldino, and he can work with you on your grant. In addition to training programs that are listed on there, we're really excited about a new online program that we have. It's in conjunction with MindEdge, and there are online training programs available on a whole variety of topics. It's really exciting to see there's management programs, marketing, project management, finance, communication, HR, international trade, and several topics under each of these categories. And so again, it might be something where you want to have an employee participate in one online program, or maybe in a full series of them. But there's something that the employee can do at their own pace. You would get an update on how your employee is doing. They'd have a certain amount of time to complete the modules. And the modules include some online videos, some independent reading, some activities that they do. So it's a great way to bring some interactive training into your workplace without your employee needing to spend time off-site. So if you have any questions or are interested in the AIM online training, we'll want to put you in touch with Lori Burgoyne in our office, and she can share with you the whole list of classes that we now have available through this program.
You can also go onto the AIM website as well. If you look for this logo that you're seeing in front of you now, you can actually scroll through, look at all the course offerings, and see what interests you. The other interesting thing is that if you are a training manager and wanted to set up a program with your own web page and be able to kind of follow the progress of some of your employees as they go through their training programs, we can do that too. So again, as Kyle indicated, give us a call. You can give Kyle a call. Give our colleague Lori Burgoyne a call. We can set that up for you. So sorry, Kyle. Go right on ahead.
No, that's great. Thank you. And so in addition to the training programs, we also do offer custom human resource services. There are now 22 people in the Employers Resource Group, and so whenever you work with us on a project, whether that's an on-site HR assignment, recruiting, an audit, a handbook review, you're always working directly with a member of the Employers Resource Group. So we don't outsource or send somebody else to your site. It's always an employee of AIM that would work with you. And again, we really try to customize our services to what your needs are. So when we talk about on-site HR, perhaps you don't have a full HR department and you need to supplement your group. You know, you might want to have somebody from AIM come to your office 1, 2, 3 days a week to help you get some projects going, or maybe you have somebody going out on maternity leave, and so you need somebody to come full time for a 3-month period of time. We really, again, can tailor that to meet your needs. We work with companies on their compensation plans, and that might be soup to nuts. That might be everything from writing job descriptions to going through survey data and putting together salary ranges, putting together an incentive plan, training managers. You might want that entire process done with AIM and work on that throughout the course of a year, or maybe you just want one assistance with one piece of that process. So we can work with you to see what your needs are. We do work with companies on audit, so we can send somebody to go through your files and your I-9s and your current processes and procedures and give you a summary of what, where you might have some deficits, where you might want to pay some more attention to make sure that you're in compliance with all the different areas of HR. We have people on our staff who will review your employee handbook, and that, again, is really depending on where your starting point is. So perhaps you have a handbook that hasn't been updated or reviewed in several years. You might want to start with having one of our staff review your handbook. We'd make some comments, suggest some policies that might be missing, and have a discussion with you then of how you'll bring your handbook up to date. We've also worked with companies who don't have any handbook at all. They're really starting from scratch. And so those companies have worked with us and sometimes purchased our model handbook. And our model handbook is a great starting point that provides you with a series of policies, and you can pick and choose which ones kind of meet the flavor of your company and put your handbook together that way. We also offer ongoing handbook policy subscription. So whenever there's a change in legislature that might impact a policy that you have, you would be made aware of that and would be sent a sample policy. So again, what you'll see with any of these programs is, the best thing might be to just give us a call and say, I think we might want to start writing some job descriptions. What do we need to do? And the conversation evolves from there in terms of what assistance we might be able to provide and how that would meet your current needs.
Kyle, I have a question, or we have a question from one of our participants, and that is, in terms of compensation planning and analysis, is there a limit to the company size, or will you do this for any size company?
Absolutely not. Yes, we do this for any size company. So we have done this for companies with 10 employees up to companies with a couple thousand employees. So again, really whatever your needs are, any region of the state, any industry, and again, some companies have started off by saying, yeah, we definitely have job descriptions, so we think we're in pretty good hands. And then the job description might actually only be a line or two. And so when they've looked at them further, they say, well, let's go back and make sure we understand what our current positions are. Then using the AIM survey, and we also have access to a couple of other national surveys, we can find some pretty good benchmark data for most positions in organizations. And then talk with the employer about what your philosophy is in terms of, where do you want to be paying in the marketplace. So we can fine-tune that program really to employers of any size in any industry.
Great, thank you. So we're wrapping up, but so this is the point in the webinar where you're probably sitting there with your head in your hands saying, now you're going to talk about government and public affairs. Look, I'm just trying to run my business. We're trying to get people paid. We're trying to get product out the door. And now you're telling me that I have to pay attention to government and public affairs. And for better or for worse, the answer really is yes, because I'm guessing that if you're on this webinar, that that you're the person, if there's a new law, if there's a new regulation, or if there's something that government does that affects business, it probably lands on your desk. So what we try and do at AIM is first of all to make sure that you're aware of everything that's coming down the road that might potentially affect the way that you run your business. Secondly is to give you an opportunity to respond to that. If it's something that's bad, give you an opportunity to oppose it. If it's something good, give you an opportunity to support it. And then finally, if something does happen, to help you understand what the implications are going to be and how that's going to be implemented, and how that's going to affect your relationship with the government. So AIM's government affairs practice is run by John Regan. If you know John, he's an extraordinarily affable person. So if there's an issue that's affecting you right now, by all means, give John a call, because if you ever wonder, how does AIM figure out the issues that it's going to work on? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's because a member like you picked up the phone or dropped an email and said, look, I have this tax issue that's really important. I'm very concerned about it. And generally, if you're concerned about it, that means other employers are concerned about it too. And that's the way AIM puts together its public policy and its legislative agenda. So you see in front of you the types of issues that we work on. They're issues that really affect your bottom line and affect the way that you operate your business every day. So what our objective is really is to create the best and smoothest business environment we possibly can in which you operate. So again, let us know what's bothering you. Let us know what you think is good, and we'll roll that into the AIM legislative agenda. Final item, I referenced earlier that AIM is about to turn 100 years old, which is a great accomplishment, and we are celebrating the centennial next year. We'll have a number of events and things like that, but the most important piece of what we're doing for our centennial is that our board of directors has asked us to create a long-term economic plan for Massachusetts. And with all due modesty, we're calling it the blueprint for the next century. And our intent, our objective, is to isolate the 3, 4, 5 most important issues that are affecting employers in the long term and suggest some very concrete steps to the next governor and to the next legislature in order to address these issues. So we're asking you, as our member employers, to let us know what you think those issues are. And there are really a couple of ways you can do that. You can go to the website, aimnet.org, and you can take our online survey. It'll take you probably about 10-15 minutes. But again, it asks you what are the things that keep you up at night? What are the things that really stand in the way of you trying to do what you do as a business owner or business manager? The other way that you can feed back to us is we've been having a series of regional meetings around the state. We scheduled 8 of them. We've gone through 7 of them, and we have 1 left, and that is Wednesday evening at Ocean Spray down in Lakeville. Begins at 4 o'clock. We usually have about an hour and 15 minutes of formal discussion, and then we adjourn for cocktails and hors d'oeuvres and continue the discussion there. If you'd like to join us down at Ocean Spray, it's a great facility, by the way, if you'd like to come down and see it. My contact information will be up in a moment, and in fact, there it is. So if you're interested in coming to Ocean Spray, and there's something really that you feel, an issue that you feel passionate about, you'd like to get on our agenda, by all means come down and join us. There's no cost to attend. Love to have you with us. So in summary, the AIM Employer Hotline that Kyle talked about, 800-470-6277. Put it in your iPhone, put it in your tablet, put it on a sticky note by your laptop, however you like to remember phone numbers. Call us once a day, call us once a month, doesn't matter. The calls are free. The AIM blog, the real-time information from AIM, is blog.aimnet.org. You can also get there through our website. Our online business-to-business directory is bymass.org. That's my contact information. There's Kyle's contact information. So again, what I would leave you with is, if you're ever sitting there saying, gee, I wonder if AIM does the following, give us a call us, call your regional membership director. If we don't do it, we probably know someone who does, and we're happy to help you out in whatever way we can.